Hey everyone, this is Joe with Southeastern Frontiers, and today I am hiking in the Chapman Nature Preserve of the Land Trust of North Alabama, and I'm hiking with my friend Matt today. The Chapman Mountain Nature Preserve is a 472-acre property located just east of Huntsville off of Highway 72. There are 3 miles of trails to explore, but on this day we started hiking a half mile up the Moonshine Trail to the spring, which was just a trickle today. Then we explored the Amphitheater Trail before climbing up Chapman Mountain on the Whole Planet Trail until we intersected the Terry Trail. We then followed the Terry Trail around the loop that returned us to the trailhead and parking lot. The Terry Trail features the Big Tree Tour with trees marked with informational signs. We had fun finding them and learning about the trees in this beautiful nature preserve. Here we are at the Chapman Mountain Nature Preserve in the parking area, and we're ready to hit the trail. All right, we started off by following the Moonshine Trail up the trail a bit. The Whole Planet Trail strikes off that way, but we're going to keep going on up towards the spring on the Moonshine Trail. It is the end of August, probably about peak dry season for us, and you can see the spring here is only just running a trickle. But I'm told, even though I've never seen it, that in the spring, this is just a lot of water running out all along this ledge here, dumping down into this creek and creating a flow of water down the creek. So we're gonna have to come back in the spring and check that out. Now we're heading up Whole Planet after leaving the spring, and it's gonna be uphill for a while, I think. All right, we've come to a branch with the Amphitheater Trail, and it looks like it's a pretty short trail, but we're gonna check it out and see what there is. I'm guessing an amphitheater. We'll find out. Well, I guess this is the amphitheater. Not a whole lot here yet. Just some rocks and there's a bit of a bowl here. Maybe in the winter when there's not so much brush, it'd be more impressive. The highway's like literally right there, so it's kind of noisy. All right, heading back. Now that we've cleared the spiders out of this segment, it shouldn't be so bad. All right, we have spider webs across the trail this morning, so I gotta wave my staff around and try to clear them, so I don't have spiders crawling across my nose. Had a few of those already. And we are climbing up Chapman Mountain now. Doesn't seem like such a big mountain when you drive over it. You can still hear the highway over there. It's not far away. Still going up the Whole Planet Trail. All right, we have reached the Terry Trail, which is a nice landmark on the way up the side of the mountain here. So we're gonna go off in that direction. Looks like maybe the trail goes off this way a little ways. And then that's the direction we came, back down to the parking lot. We're probably right at the edge of their property, or at least there's a fence here. So anyway, off we go that way. Along the Terry Trail, the Land Trust has marked some big trees with information, and you can look up the information on the trees online. So that's very cool. That's a neat thing they've done. So we'll look for the big trees. All right, the first of the marked trees that we've seen, a black oak, 29 inches in diameter, 90 feet tall. The orange-colored inner bark used to make natural dye called quercitron. Huh. Interesting. So anyway, there it is. Number 45 on the big trees out here, I guess. Cool. Now I want to find them all. All right, I guess this is turning into the tour of the trees of the mountain here. So this is a pig nut hickory, number 44 on the list, and it's right back there and stretches up above our heads. Very cool. On we go. The Terry Trail's nice, wide trail, easy to hike. Very nice. The not near as many spiders across it either, since it's so wide. That's very helpful. All right, coming up on another one. Oh, yes. Number 40 is a white oak. Very cool. Used to make whiskey barrels. That's why I've heard of it before. So there it is. White oak. Fun. And we must have missed a few because now we're down to 37. Chestnut Oak. All right. There it is. And the forest here is very wide open. You know, there's not much undergrowth. It's like a park. It's very nice. Very cool. All right, we found another one. Number 36, Northern Red Oak. It's just a giant post as far as I can tell. Yeah, there's leaves way up there. Yeah. All right, we have come to the intersection with the Bulldog Trail and the Terry Trail. We just came down the Terry Trail. We're heading downhill right now. There's a nice little rest bench here. So that's nice. The Bulldog Trail goes off that way. So I don't think we're gonna go that way today. I think we're gonna continue down the Terry Trail. We'll leave that for a future trip. Green ash, number 34, says it's often used to make canoe paddles. I love the bark on it. It's very cool. And oh wow, you can see all the way up this one. Nice. Very cool. Chinca Pin Oak? I didn't even know that was a thing. Speaking of which, there are nearly 60 species of oak in the United States. Huh. Did not know of a Chinca Pin Oak. Very interesting. And the Land Trust has the Hug Me Tree series. So this is one of their Hug Me trees. The yellow poplar. Yes, that's a popular common tree around here. I know it well. It says the pioneers hollowed out large poplar logs to make lightweight canoes. You can make a lot of canoes out of this. Very cool. There are some nice trees along this stretch. Here's a little bridge. This time of year the creeks are all dry, but I'm guessing in the winter this has a little stream of water running through it. All right, sugar maple. This is another common tree around here that I know well. Beautiful trees. Around here, they're not tapped for maple syrup because it doesn't get cold enough really for them to produce well. Because it takes 40 gallons of sap, it says here, to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. Yeah, it's a lot. All right, we've come to a big intersection here. There's arrows pointing all over the place. Terry Trail straight ahead, and behind us it says the Moonshine Trail is straight ahead and off this way. So although the light down there looks very appealing, it's dark out this way, but I think we're going to continue on this way back to the parking lot and leave that trail for another time also. It's starting to warm up today, that's for sure. All right, continuing down the Terry Trail. All right, a black walnut tree. So it's winding up here into the sunlight. So I'm very familiar with the fruit of the black walnut tree. It was one of my dad's favorite foods. We would harvest them all the time and dry them out. And right next to it is a southern red oak. It's a bigger tree. Very nice. There's a little stone wall back there that we're walking alongside of. Someone piled up some rocks. We got another sign coming up on a tree here. Oh, persimmon. Yes. Persimmon trees are fairly common here too. There's a tall persimmon. I don't think I've ever quite seen one quite so tall. I usually think of them as being a shorter tree. Cool. American elm. This one's not very big, because they can get to be really big. The largest identified to date is in the United States is an 8.6 foot diameter one growing in Louisiana. It's back there. It's just a little baby one. Wow. All right. I think this car has come to its final resting point. Huh. That's pretty interesting. Bucket seats. Wonder what it was. It's kind of shapely, vaguely familiar. There's a Chevy hood right back there, so I bet it's some sort of Chevy. They took the engine out. Pretty wild. So the sign here says that some of these items of debris the land trust chose to leave here as a reminder of the previously working farm that was on this site. And yeah, I've noticed that as we were going, the Terry Trail follows an old road. Yep. There's also remnants of an old homestead and barn out here, huh? Yep. It's hard to imagine sometimes when nature takes it all back. All right, an Osage orange. This is a tree I'm familiar with, but not from Alabama so much. I mean, I've seen them around here in the Huntsville area, but they're not native to this part of Alabama anyway. They're native to Texas, and you see them, they grow, let's see, I'm trying to see, I can't see any this time of year. They grow large fruits on them, and that are about the size of a large orange or a grapefruit, which is why people call it the Osage orange. But it's not a fruit you can eat or anything. It's just massive. And in fact, some people use them to drive away insects. But the real reason that these trees were planted all over is they also have thorns on new growth, which you can't see here. And those thorns, they'd use these trees to make basically fence lines to keep in animals. So that's what that is. Oh yes, an eastern red cedar, very common tree around here. And you can see one back there, and it's kind of spindly, it doesn't have a lot of growth with all these big trees shading it. But yep, very cool. So this is the honey locust tree growing back here with that bark that's flaking off it. And the most famous thing about this tree is it has the most tremendous thorns. These thorns are the size of nails, you know, that you'd build a house with, or bigger. And they're so strong, like the sign says here, they can puncture tractor tires. They're vicious. Again, they're a tree that once upon a time farmers planted to make fence lines that cattle couldn't get through. Now they're kind of annoying, but I always thought they'd make incredible spear tips. So, very cool. All right, we have returned to the intersection where the Moonshine Trail goes off. This is where we started. Well, we started downhill here, but we passed this intersection earlier today on our way up. So we are almost back to the trailhead and parking area. And you can see there's usually, well, maybe not usually, but during the winter, I bet there's a steady stream of water that runs through here. Yep, very cool. All right, we have returned to the parking area. Very cool. There's a couple more people here, but not too many. For such a nice place, there aren't many people here. It's kind of warm today and going to be getting a lot warmer. And there's a hurricane supposed to hit in a few more days. Usually by the time they get up this far north, they aren't much, but could give us some rain. Well, likely to give us some rain. So I'm going to check out this pavilion over here. Oh, here we go. Chapman Mountain. Ooh, there's hidden treasure here. Awesome. Huh. Fascinating. And what a nice pavilion here. Good picnic tables. Some restrooms. Wow, this is cool. Neat. There's also a disc golf course here. I'll have to check that out sometime too. I haven't played disc golf in a while.